Listen carefully because I'm about to dismantle one of the most damaging illusions men grow up believing. You were taught that attraction is logical, that if you say the right things, behave correctly, and treat a woman well enough, she eventually choose you. And the worst part, it sounds reasonable. It sounds misunderfair, but it's wrong. Here's the truth most men never hear. Attraction is not a decision, it's a response. And you cannot negotiate a response. Most men approach dating like a math problem. They assume there's a formula effort plus consistency equals attraction. So when it doesn't work, they double the effort, more attention, more validation, more emotional availability. And that's exactly when things collapse. If you've ever wondered why doing everything right still led to distance, confusion, or sudden rejection, this video explains why. Let's start with the biggest misunderstanding of all. Men believe women are constantly analyzing them. They're not. Men replay conversations in their heads like crime scenes. One-word replies, delayed messages, a different tone. They assume every detail means something. This disconnect creates chaos. Men think attraction is built through explanation. Women experience attraction through emotion, and emotion doesn't follow logic. I learned this lesson early. When I was younger, I once spent weeks preparing to talk to a woman I liked. I planned everything: what to say, when to say it, how to say it. I finally approached her, confident I'd done everything right. She barely responded. Later I found out why. She was emotionally unavailable that day. Something personal was weighing on her. Nothing I said mattered. 2 weeks later, I randomly bumped into her again. No plan, no strategy. I made a dumb comment about the music being loud. That conversation turned into a relationship that lasted years, not because of my words, because of timing. Because of emotional openness. This is what men don't understand. A woman's emotional state is like the weather. You don't control it. You only respond to it. But most men try to change it. They believe effort can override emotion. It can't. Attraction fluctuates based on thousands of variables: stress, hormones, mood, past experiences, social environment. You are only one variable. And this leads us to a hard truth. Most men resist. Women don't fully understand their own attraction either. Ask a woman why she chose a particular partner, and she give you logical reasons: kind, funny, stable, ambitious. But those explanations come after the feeling. Emotion first, narrative second. Just like how people explain why they like certain music or food. The explanation sounds logical, but the preference was emotional long before it was verbalized. This is why logic fails in dating. You can't explain your way into attraction. You can't present reasons for desire. You can't convince someone to feel something they don't. And this is where men make a devastating mistake. They take women's stated preferences literally. She says she wants a nice guy, so he becomes endlessly nice. She says she wants honesty, so he overshares. She says she wants consistency, so he becomes fully predictable, and then she loses interest. Not because she lied, but because words and attraction operate in different systems. Stated preferences are theoretical. Attraction is experiential. What someone says they want when they're calm is rarely what triggers desire in real time. And the moment a man centers his entire behavior around being chosen, something fundamental breaks, neediness enters. And neediness is the fastest attraction killer there is. The more you need validation, attention, reassurance, or approval, the less attractive you become. Not because wanting connection is bad, but because neediness signals instability. Attraction responds to self-direction, to independence, to emotional groundedness. A man who makes a woman his entire world removes all emotional tension. There's no mystery, no movement, no unpredictability. And without emotional tension, attraction dies. This is why being reliable alone isn't attractive. Reliability without depth feels empty. Consistency without challenge feels boring. Many men confuse emotional strength with emotional agreement. They think validating everything she says makes them safe. But constant agreement doesn't create connection, it creates contempt. Disagreement, when calm and grounded, signals confidence. Boundaries signal self-respect. Emotional stability signals safety. Women aren't attracted to men without backbones. They're attracted to men who can remain calm under emotional pressure, who don't collapse, overreact, or chase validation. This brings us to something deeply misunderstood. Women don't want comfort alone. They want to feel something. Not just happiness, intensity, excitement, curiosity, passion, even frustration at times. This is why some women stay with men who are clearly bad for them. Not because they enjoy being mistreated, but because those men create emotional spikes. Meanwhile, the perfect man creates none. Predictable, safe, boring. Dating him feels like watching a movie where you know the ending in the first 5 minutes. Attraction doesn't thrive in certainty. It thrives in presence, depth, and emotional charge. This also explains why communication often fails. Men communicate to exchange information. Women communicate to process emotions. When a woman shares a problem, she usually doesn't want a solution, she wants understanding. When a man jumps straight to fixing, she hears dismissal. Not because he's wrong, but because emotional validation comes before logic. Miss this, and connection erodes quietly. Sexual attraction works the same way. Male desire is spontaneous. Female desire is responsive. Context matters. Emotional environment matters. Mental state matters. This is why attraction can feel strong one day and gone the next without any obvious reason. It's not manipulation, it's psychology. Social dynamics amplify this further. Women are influenced by social context, peer perception, and emotional signaling more than men realize. Preselection matters. Scarcity matters. Emotional loss creates urgency. When you're always available, there's no risk. When there's no risk, there's no emotional investment. Value increases with scarcity, not because of games, but because the human brain invests more when something isn't guaranteed. Modern dating has intensified all of this. Endless options create anxiety. Constant validation creates inflated expectations. Attention gets confused with attraction. And too much choice creates paralysis. People don't become happier. With infinite options, they become restless. At the core of all this is a truth that changes everything. You cannot make someone want you through logic, effort, or self-sacrifice. Attraction isn't earned like a reward. It's triggered. Once you accept this, something powerful happens. You stop taking rejection personally. You stop chasing validation. You stop trying to perform for approval. You become centered. And centered men feel different. This doesn't guarantee success, but it gives you clarity. And clarity is what most men are actually searching for. Understanding female psychology isn't about control. It's about awareness. Once you see the patterns, the confusion fades. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop blaming yourself for invisible shifts. And for the first time, dating stops feeling random. You don't have to play the game forever. But you should understand the rules before deciding to walk away. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.